Hi all, welcome to Data Engineering with Neelima, your go-to place to master the skills that power modern data systems. I'm Neelima, and in this series we are diving deep into SQL for data engineers. Not just basic queries, but real-world industry-level concepts you'll actually use in your job. We'll start from the fundamentals, select, filtering, and joins, and work our way up to complex queries, optimizations, window functions, and handling big data sets like a pro. Every lesson will be hands on with practical exercises, puzzles and challenges designed to make you think like a data engineer. So, if you're ready to transform your SQL skills and open doors to data engineering opportunities, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. So, first of all, what is database? Database is a collection of interrelated data. That is, collection of data that is stored in a format which can easily be accessed. That is, you can delete the data, edit the data, access the data, and we can perform any actions on that data. So, basically, simply saying, what is database? Database is collection of interrelated data and that will be stored in digital format. Next comes what is DBMS. DBMS stands for Database Management System. It's a software application that manages our database. This DBMS is used to create the databases, manage the databases, and organize databases. So basically, database will have the data, interrelated data, and DBMS is a software application which manages our data. So, why we have this concept of dbms when you have database? You have a user. User cannot access DB directly. User cannot access database directly. So, we will use dbms there. So, this is dbms. User will run an SQL query on database management system application. This dbms application will fetch that query. For suppose user has given any query like select asterisk or something, select query, select a name from this table, something like that. This query will fetch the results from our database. It will go to the database and ask for the details and fetch the required details and pass this results back to the user. So user will pass a SQL query to dbms and dbms will fetch the results from the database and send it back to the user. So basically we use which language for dbms? SQL language for dbms. So we can go in depth in detail for dbms and anything, but in this video, in this series, we are more concerned about SQL topics for data engineers. So I'll basically explain you all the database concepts, simple database concepts that are important, and slowly we will run on SQL queries. So, types of databases. We are having two types of databases, relational and non relational. What is relational? Relational is nothing but data that is stored in tables is called your relational. In tables we will have relation between each column. So the data that is stored in in the tabular format is your relational database, and data that is not stored in form of tables is your non relational database. uh, for non-relational database, we use NoSQL language. And for relational database, the examples are MySQL, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, and PostgreSQL. And for non-relational databases, example is MongoDB. So, SQL language, we use it for relational database. We use SQL to work with relational DBMS, database management system. Next comes SQL. What is full form of SQL? Structured Query Language. SQL is a programming language used to interact with relational databases. That we understood, right? So SQL is here used to perform four operations. Those are called as CRUD operations. What are CRUD? CRUD stands for create, read, update, delete. Create, read, update, delete. Create here is used to create databases, tables, insert tuples, insert tuples in tables. All these comes under create. Just basically creating a database or creating a table. Next, what is read? To read data present in database, we use read operation. Update is used to modify already inserted data. And delete. Delete is used to delete database, table, or specific data point or any multiple rows. And one more thing, a important note is that SQL keywords are not case sensitive. We can use select in small, I'll explain you select, where, filtering, order by, having, group by. All these are not case sensitive. You can use in uppercase or lowercase. But general practice is to use in capital letters so that we can distinguish between the data and the operation which we are doing. We will talk about that later. For suppose in current operations, let us take an account. You have created an account. Everyone will have an Insta account. For suppose, let us take an example. You have created an account in Instagram or Facebook. Let us take it. You have created an account in Instagram. So it is a create operation. Read means you are going to read the usernames and how it is going to store in Insta database. If user updates a password or username, we have to update. If user is updating their username or password, we have to go to the database and update those details. And if for suppose user deactivates the account or deletes the account, we have to we have to delete the account from Instagram database. If user deactivates, we just update. If user deletes, we if user deletes, then we have to perform delete operation. Basically CRUD operation is example for that. Next, actually, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Also, sometimes people call it as SQL, where SQL stands for Structured English Query Language. Anything could be called. You can call it as SQL or SQL because IBM made this SQL before and slowly it became SQL. Next, let us come to this. You will have a database. In database, many tables will be stored. N number of tables will be stored. For suppose, let us take you have two tables. Table 1 is having some data and table 2 is having some data. Tables will always have interrelated data in database. For suppose you have two tables, college and company. In college, forgive me, sorry, this is one database. College is one database and company is other database. College database is having few other tables, student fees, courses. And company database can have employee salaries department. You can have this also, two different database, or in a single database of student we can have college table in student fee, courses, and in fourth year what are they getting placed in which company. So it basically depends on the structure schema of database and table. So we can have this as tables in a single database or we can have this as a separate database. It all depends on the structure schema of the database. Actually, now coming to the point, what is a table? We all know what is a table. Table is a combination of rows and columns. We have rows and we have columns. In SQL, columns and rows, you have to understand. In rows, we will have individual data, and in columns, we will have general structure of database or schema, design of the database. For example, if you have, I'll give you one example for this. Let us assume you have this table employees. See, employee ID, name, department, salary, joining date are all your columns. This defines the structure of the table. So this is used for the structure of the table. And in rows, you have your individual data showing all the filling all the general structure of the database. So basically rows is for individual data and columns is for the schema of the table. So this is the table name. Okay. Next, this basic introduction of SQL databases is more than enough. Now let us come to queries. First thing in our SQL is nothing but select query. Select command is comes under data query language. We are querying with using select command. We fetch the details. So it comes under data query language. So understand what is select. Select is the command to retrieve data from a table. So in a table, whatever data we have, a general command, the not is general, it's the universal command which we use to retrieve data from table. Whatever data is there, if you want to retrieve it, retrieve complete data or retrieve specific data with conditions, we just use select command. The syntax of select command is select column names, whatever columns you want from table name. So this is the syntax. It's very simple. You have to select, you have to give keyword select and column names, whatever columns you want to fetch the details from table name. This is one more important things which we generally use. Instead of, like, for suppose you have a big table and you want to select all the columns, not only a big table or small table, if your condition is select completely all the columns, we have to use star. Asterisk is used for, suppose this is a general example, select asterisk from employees. For suppose employees is the table name, so it fetches complete data because you're fetching all the columns and all the rows. Okay. Next, we have to understand something called where clause is used for filtering, where filter rows based on a condition. Okay. We will use where clause along with select for any filtering things. Syntax of this is select columns from table name where condition. In condition, we can use any condition like equal to, not equal to, any comparison like salary, like equal to, not equal to, like you can give a field like department equal to IT in employees table, department not equal to sales. In comparison, we can give salary less than 50,000, salary greater than 80,000, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. We can also use logical operators. I mean, basically in condition, what we do is we specify the condition of the columns which we want in query. We can use arithmetic operations, plus, minus, star, and we can use in and not in operators. These are also a bit important. I'll explain you that afterwards. Between, you can use all, like, any. Okay. What does between do? Between selects us for a given range. For suppose we can give like select asterisk from students where marks between keyword 80 and 90. So it will select all the students whose marks are from 80 to 90 inclusive range. 80 and 90 is also included. Next comes in and not in. In means it matches the value, and not means negates not in. For suppose we can see like select asterisk from students where name in, you can give the range for name or not in anything. You can give range or you can give a string directly, and whether that is not. We will understand this in and not in also next. In SQL, you will have a lot of tables to deal with. It's gonna be very interesting if you understand the concepts. Let us play it with fun. Assume you are having a table employees. Before I showed you this table for structure and everything, right? The same table it is. So we have this table like this. To select from all employees every detail, we use select asterisk from employees. When you use select asterisk from employees, complete table details is fetched. For suppose I am giving a specific condition like select employees from sales department only, so then we will get only 101 and 103, right? For that query is select asterisk from employees, then you have to mention where department equal to sales. So basically you are selecting all the employees but giving a filtering condition like if department should be sales. Okay, so for giving any filtering conditions, we use where clause. And next comes select employees with salary greater than 6,000. If you mention salary greater than 6,000, we get only first two employees, 101, 102. So to fetch the details of those two employees, to fetch complete details of all the columns, we use select asterisk. But if I use select employee ID, comma name from employees table name, it only gives us this two data. Okay. So basically you can mention column names, and if you are mentioning asterisk, all the column details will be fetched. So I'm mentioning here if salary greater than 6,000. For suppose if I used like this, select asterisk from employees where salary greater than 6,000. If I mention salary greater than 6,000, it fetches all the data, like all the columns data. But if specifically we want only name and salary, right? We can use select name, comma salary from employees where salary greater than 6,000. Super cool. Next, select an employees in sales or IT. So, sales or IT, you have to always check. See, it's very simple. You have to check what to fetch. For suppose, let us fetch name and department. You can fetch completely also whatever they mention. Select name, department from employees table, and where department equal to sales or department equal to IT. So you have to see the column name first. So that is what. It's very important for you to see in where condition what is the column name you're operating. Okay. This is as simple as it is. See, for this table, I have given some practice questions. Please solve it. Please pause this video and solve it. Write SQL queries for the following. Select all columns for employees in the sales department. So if you have to select all columns, you have to use star from employees. Next, where department equal to sales, that you have to mention. Okay. Select all employee names and salary where salary is greater than 55,000. Select employees who joined after Jan 1st, 2020. Select employees who belong to the IT department and have salary less than 80,000. Let us look into the answer. For the first question, select all employees sorry select all columns for employees in the sales department. So to select all columns we just write select asterisk from employees where department is sales. It's as simple as it is. Select all employee names and salaries. So we have to select name, salary, where salary should be greater than 55,000. So you have to write select name, salary from table name employees from employees where salary is greater than 55,000. So you can see it's as simple as it is. Okay. Next, select employees who joined after Jan 1st, 2020. So we have something called joining date in this table. Okay. So we have to refer select what they said, select employees. So we can select all the employees, or let us just select name this time. Select name from the table name employees from employees where joining date greater than, you can just give joining date greater than, joining date is in this format, right? 2020 Jan 1st, joining date greater than this. See, actually, hmm, I have also written like this, but when I tried to fetch the results, this doesn't work because this is a string, right? Always strings must be quoted in. If you quote this only, then it works. For numbers we can use directly, but for strings you have to go always in condition. If you are using any string for equal to, not equal to, or anything, you need to place your quotes. Okay. Next, select employees who belong to the IT department and have salary less than 80,000. So this is an and condition. So we need to have both the conditions. Like both the conditions in the sense both the conditions in the sense we need to have and clause. So what we will do here, go to the table and select, give select asterisk from employees. That is the basic like first thing, where IT department means department equal to IT and salary less than 80,000. Simple. Okay. A short tip for you. In SQL, you have to always wrap string values and dates in single quotes. See, this is a string. We have to wrap it in single quote. Also dates. You have to wrap in single quotes. Only numbers do not need quotes. Super, right? It's super cool, crazy, insane. We have completed select and filter. That is filtering, select and where clause. For day one, this is enough. Select and where clause. You can practice on this in select and where clause. You will understand how to do. Tomorrow we are going to cover mostly order by. Okay, order by clause and limit clause. Next, in day 2 practice session, we will have order by and limit along with select and where. So, we are going to level up one after the other, and this way you will be able to solve it. Thank you.